Welcome to the Local Pulse on TV 25. I'm Dave Dicke, and we are joined today by John Mullen. John is the executive director of the Impact Center in Winona. And John, it's a pleasure to have you on the program today.
I appreciate you having me, Dave.
So, tell us a little bit about the origins of the Impact Center and kind of what inspired its creation.
Sure. Well, youth outreach is something I've always been passionate about. I've always enjoyed working with kids. It kind of all started when I came upon a volunteer opportunity working with some at-risk youth after school. We were helping kids with homework. And then after kind of that portion of the evening, we would have time to play games, to just kind of interact with the kids. It was a really rewarding experience for me. And it kind of really solidified my passion for working with kids. I felt that it was very, very rewarding. I started building some really neat relationships with many of these children and even some of their families. It kind of got my wheels turning a little bit as far as how or what I could potentially do in the future to kind of make this something that I did for my career. So I would say probably maybe around 3 or 4 years ago is when I really got serious about wanting to start an after school program or a youth center. So I spoke with a friend of mine, a close family friend, Gary Evans, who I'm sure you guys know well. And I took my idea to him, and he said, "You know what, John? I think it's a great idea. Why don't we give it a shot?" And so we kind of got started with that, becoming a nonprofit and going through that whole process, becoming a 501(c)(3) nonprofit. We finally got through that. We became a nonprofit. I was still, in search of. I didn't have a building. I didn't have any money raised at the time, so it was still basically a dream at that point. Um, when my path all of a sudden crossed with Carla Burton, who happened to be the executive director of Grace Place, which is another nonprofit downtown Winona. And Carla was looking to retire at the time, and she asked me if I would be interested in her position. And at first, I said no because I was very set on opening up a youth center and focused on that. But she kind of got me thinking that there may be potential for me to kind of do both. And so, after some thought and discussions with the board of directors there at Grace Place, I decided to take that position. And one of the conditions was that I would still be allowed to pursue my youth center. And so now I had not only the Grace Place nonprofit that I was director of, but now also this new Impact Center, which I was about to start right there at that Second Street location, which is where we're located now. So we actually opened our youth center on September 6, 2023. So we're going into our third year this year. And it's been great so far. Our program has continued to grow, and we're really pleased with the results so far.
So, what are the missions and values that drive the Impact Center?
Well, we're trying to help each child understand that their life has meaning and purpose. And we do that. So basically, to kind of give you a description of our program, we're a structured after school program. So kids come in off the bus after school. The first thing we do is we have academic time. So we focus on helping the kids with homework or doing some type of academic activities. After that, we give the kids snacks each night. After that, we have time for an optional devotion for the children that are signed up to participate in the devotion time. And then after devotion time, we have free time where the children are able to play games or ping pong or pool or whatever they'd like to do. And we also take kids on field trips. We like to go out in the community. We go horseback riding. This past summer, we took a group of kids to Wisconsin Dells. So we try to get out and do some fun things in the community as well as volunteer in the community where we can. And so we're really we're a structured program, and what we can do, we believe, what we attempt to do is to really help the children develop in multiple aspects of their life, academically, ethically, emotionally. We really help kind of try to shape the character of the children.
So how many kids are you serving right now?
Well, we have over 90 children registered for our program right now. So, typically we're not seeing that many each night, kind of depending on what after school sports are going on or what families have going on at the time. But typically we see around anywhere from, 25 to 50 children a night.
And what kind of challenges are kids facing these days? I know it's a lot different from back when you and I were kids. I mean, there's so many social media and all these other things that are affecting kids now. But what's the kind of the biggest challenge that you see facing kids?
Yeah, I think you mentioned it. I think it is the social media and all the online relationships that are taking place. It's social media and obviously technology in general. It's a good thing. It can be a very good thing, but also it can be a dangerous thing. It can be something that children can misuse too. So I think the social media aspect of it, I think just how that can be used to whether it's bullying or a child getting into pornography or whatever it might be. There's a lot of access for a child to to access things that are very unhealthy and to be tempted to do things that are not good for them. And I think the temptations that they have at their fingertips right now is something that I certainly thankfully didn't have growing up, but it's something that we have to deal with and figure out how to navigate right now.
Do you have at the Impact Center have any collaborations with any other local organizations or businesses in town right now?
Yeah, quite a few. So our staff is almost all volunteer, and the vast majority of our volunteers are coming from our local colleges. So we have college students that receive class credit for coming here to volunteer to work with the kids. They provide a lot of our after school homework help. They get to just interact with the kids, play games. So we have, I think last year we ended with over 25 college students that were volunteering with us. So the colleges are a major one, but also District 861. We were very proud last year to be named their Community Partner of the Year, and so we work pretty closely with the schools. In fact, next week I'll be meeting with the director of learning and teaching. She's going to come in and help us choose a reading curriculum that we can kind of work with our kids that kind of jive with what they're doing there. So we work closely with the schools and the colleges. And as I mentioned, we try to get out in the community and do different field trips. We try to visit different banks, and take some of the older kids through like financial literacy classes, things like that. So we do as much out in the community as we can, and we're finding, we're building some pretty neat relationships as we grow.
It's interesting to hear some of the things that you're doing with the kids. And with our kids was that financial um, awareness, I guess, um, and teaching them to save and how important that is for their future. And it's nice to because you don't always get that in your regular high school curriculum.
Right, right. And along with that, I also have a program called College Bound. So each year I take the middle and high schoolers on campus tours, Winona State, St. Mary's, Minnesota State College, Southeast. So a lot of these children that we're working with would be first generation college students, and we want them to be able to visualize themselves there someday if they would choose to pursue that, and just help them understand that college is a real opportunity for them, if they would choose that. So again, it's just exposing kids to some of the really good opportunities that we have in the community for them.
Earlier, you mentioned you have about 90 kids signed up for the program. What's the age range that you serve?
Yep. So it's K through 12. So yep, we're a free program for children in grades K through 12. The children there, they need to be registered. Once they register for the program, they're free to come whenever they can. We're open from 2:30 to 6 each night during the school year. And then we have some special summer programming that we do as well. But the majority of the kids that we see are come right after school. So.
Very nice. Now, in Winona, Winona's I guess you can describe it as a pretty vibrant community. Um, but what are some specific challenges that you see in the community that the Impact Center is able to help
Mhm. Well, I
address?
think I think one thing is obviously today most parents are working. Most parents are they have to work till 4 or 5 o'clock, whatever it is. And I think there's a gap sometimes between the time a child gets out of school and whatever you want to call it, dinner time or family time, whenever that begins. So we provide a safe, structured atmosphere for children to come in right after school. The parents know that they're there. They know that they're in a space that they're, supervised and that's healthy and positive for them. So we feel good about being able to provide that space at no cost for families. And then, at 6 o'clock when we close, hand the child off to the parent for the rest of the evening. So.
How do you engage, I guess, the kids and the students in center initiatives? Is there any programs that are they specifically designed for age groups or have kind of an all-encompassing thing, or how does that work?
So we kind of have the kids split up. So my assistant director, Elfrida Green, she mainly works with the elementary students, and so when those kids come in, she kind of, she's pretty much, guides them through their schedule for the night, and then I focus on middle schooler and high schoolers, and so I kind of work with them through their night. So there is, the older kids and the younger kids group. Now there is time at the, kind of towards the end of the night when it's free time when, the kids are potentially, all together. But a lot of the programming is age, specific. So I mentioned the college bound program. So that's for middle and high schoolers. The financial literacy and what I call the life skills. So I have a life skills course that I do with the kids. Part of that is the financial literacy class. We have a cooking class. We have workforce prep that we do also here. So we have different programs that are tailored to the different age groups. And we feel like we're helping the children develop a lot of skills in their time here.
And we're going to take a real quick break, and when we come back, we'll talk more with John Mullen, the executive director of the Impact Center in Winona, right after this. Lewiston Auto and Ultra Federal Credit Union invite you to join HBC TV 25 for live coverage of the 49th Annual Goodview Days Parade. Our parade coverage begins at 1 p.m. on Sunday, August 17th. Watch parade replays Monday, August 18th and Friday, August 22nd at 7 p.m. on TV 25. Live coverage of the Goodview Days Parade is made possible by Lewiston Auto and Ultra Federal Credit Union.
It's non-stop action this season with the St. Paul Saints. Catch every thrilling moment from home runs to strikeouts live on HBC TV 25. TV 25 will carry 40 home games from CHS Field. You'll find the complete Saints home schedule information at hbci.com/TV25. Watch all the action only on HBC TV 25, your home for the Saints.
Welcome back to the Local Pulse. I'm Dave Dicke and joined today by John Mullen, the executive director of the Impact Center here in Winona. And John, let's, I guess, talk a little bit about what role does the center play in economic development, maybe for some of the area around us. Is that where that life skills program kind of comes into play a little bit?
Yeah, I believe so. The children we're working with, I mean, really are our future community employees and maybe employers, And so we feel that our program where we're trying to really help shape um, these children in all these different ways will benefit our community in regards to what type of employees and employers they become. So so we feel like our work will impact, our economy or our workforce, and not only that, but we have programs also, as I mentioned, that try to take the kids out and expose them to different opportunities that will be presented to them as they get older, so they're aware of those opportunities and hopefully will take advantage of.
And then how do you go about engaging kids to get involved at the Impact Center? You mentioned, you work closely with the school district and in other areas. Do you go out and actively reach out to kids at schools, or is it kind of word of mouth, or how do kids get involved?
Yeah, I would say a lot of it's word of mouth. Friends bring friends to the center. Parents talk with parents and talk about the center. We do have registration events. In fact, tomorrow night we're part of a block party out in Maplewood neighborhood there. That I believe that's put on by Engage Winona, another nonprofit. We're a part of that. We'll have a table out there. We'll be registering children for our fall program. There's another Black Party we're a part of towards the end of August, which will be at the East End Rec Center. So we participate in kind of different community activities like that where we do, registration events. But ultimately, I would say the majority of our children come from just word of mouth. Families talking with families, friends talking with friends, and friends inviting their friends to the center to be a part of it. And that's really how we've seen the majority of our growth.
You mentioned, partnerships with other nonprofits in the area. So, how do you envision the relationship between the Impact Center and other nonprofits growing here in years to come?
Well, I think we're closely connected. So, Impact Center is a part of the Winona Area Nonprofit Alliance, and so we're a network of nonprofits here in Winona that help each other out. We whether it's referring people to a certain program that maybe another nonprofit offers, or like this, collaborating on a block party where tomorrow night there'll be multiple nonprofits that are a part of. I think it's important for us to be connected, and we see ourselves just continuing to build solid relationships with all the nonprofits in Winona.
And then, what are some of the future plans for the Impact Center? You're just coming up on your third year, so you're really kind of still in your infancy. And as you get into those, I guess, toddler years of your organization, do you have any exciting plans in your mind that you'd like to see this program expand? How to expand it?
Yeah, definitely would like to see it expand. I think what we've learned here in the first couple years is that um, there's there's a need. There's definitely a need for many of the children in the community. What we offer these children is free, and as someone who grew up with not a whole lot financially, I know that a lot of kids are. Sometimes the cost of some of these after school programs is restrictive. And so one of our foundational, values is that no child, be turned away because they can't afford it. So we don't charge anything for our program. Everything we do with the kids is free to them. So we really want to offer something that any child can access. But future plans, as we continue to grow, really just refine our program, and with as many children as we're seeing and new children getting registered, we will come to a point where we need to start looking for another facility. We'd love to have a facility with a gym space, just to have an area inside for kids to be able to run around and burn off some energy. but for now, we're very happy with where we're at, and we'll continue to you know perfect our craft here in this little nursery area until we have an opportunity uh, to take it to a bigger stage.
You talked about this being a free program, but it's free to participants, but it's not free to put on. I mean, you need
Yeah.
some funding. So, how do you go about donations, and can individuals donate, or how does that work?
Yeah, so it's both. It's all of the above. A part of my job is to be out in the community as much as possible, explaining, describing what we're doing here at the Impact Center, and trying to help people understand why it's important and what the benefit is to the community overall. It's taken a little while, but we're seeing the more people learn about us, whether it's businesses or just community members in general, the more support we're starting to receive. So, I do a newsletter at least once. I've done a couple of newsletters now, mailing out, just helping people try to get to know us. We were part of the Steamboat Days Parade the last couple of years, trying to get out in front of the community. So, as we get into year three here, we think we're getting a little bit more exposure, doing things like this. Hopefully, will get us even more exposure, and just to help the community understand what we're doing and what we're doing is important, and then hopefully building that support.
So, what keeps you motivated in this role, John? I mean, it's got to be challenging.
It can be very challenging, absolutely. There's times, as probably any teacher would tell you, that you wonder, are they listening to me? Am I making any difference here at all? But you see the difference in one child, or you hear one success story with one kid that you've worked with, and it's very rewarding when you see your work pay off, with whether it be with a child, graduating high school and going to college, which I've seen children that I've worked with, or them reaching back out, as they become older, or entering their adult years, whether it's just a text, just checking in with me, thanking me, letting me know that I made a difference in their lives. It's very rewarding. A lot of the children that we work with are, kids that are disadvantaged, or at risk, however we want to label them. And I have grown really close with a lot of these kids, and it's just very rewarding to have those types of relationships and to see the difference that you make.
So, what is something that you would like the Winona community to really know about the Impact Center?
Well, I would say that we are really investing in tomorrow's leaders. These kids are going to, as I mentioned before, they're going to be they're the next generation. They're going to be the ones that are working in our businesses, that are taking care of kids, that are doing the work that we're doing right now. And so our investment in these children right now, we believe, will pay off in the future. And so I want the community to know that we're working hard, working with these kids, and really trying to help shape and mold them into really, productive, good, human beings. And that's something that, it takes a village. It really does. And we look for the entire community support in what we're doing.
How can people get their kids signed up to be a part of the Impact Center?
Well, first of all, they can come down either to our location. We're at 66 East 2nd Street, right next to Grace Place. If they'd like to register in person, otherwise you can go online to our website, www.impactyoutcenter.com. We have online registration available there. So there's a couple different ways. As I mentioned, we'll be involved in a couple community block parties this month. You can also register there. But we're pretty easy to find. Even if your child starts the school year and they want to register at any time during the school year, where our registration is open all year. So we look forward to seeing some new kids this year.
And if somebody's watching the show and this they want to be able to contribute somehow monetarily to help the success of the program, how can somebody make a donation?
Well, they could mail it to us, as I mentioned, at our address, 66 East 2nd Street here in Winona. And we also do have online giving options as well on our website. So we have those two options there for people.
Very good. John, I really appreciate you taking time to talk to us today about this great organization here in Winona. Thank you so much.
Well, thanks for having me, Dave. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Our guest today has been John Mullen, the Executive Director of the Impact Center in Winona. And thank you for watching. We hope you'll join us next time here on The Local.